James, the racial division of this country, it's already, this is supposed to be all to unite us. It's just terrible. It's going exactly the opposite. The latest example in Victoria, a parliamentary inquiry there has just told the Andrews government to end duck shooting in the state completely, except not exactly completely. It says Aboriginal people, traditional owners, should still be allowed to shoot. Your response?
Yes, Andrew, if I understand this inquiry's report correctly, if your ancestors arrived here on a boat 200 years ago, you're not allowed to hunt ducks. But if your ancestors were already here when the boat arrived in 1788, you're allowed to hunt ducks. That seems to be the new recommendation in Victoria, which is absolute nonsense. And it's incredible to think this is the way our country is going. No good comes from this. But what I do expect, Andrew, is a whole lot of duck hunters are going to suddenly discover their Indigenous heritage.
That is so right, Already I think something about 80,000 or 72,000, I think, some figure like that, people identified as Aboriginal in the last census that hadn't in the census before. I suspect a lot more with guns will do it in the next census. What do you make of this, Evelyn?
Yeah, look, I came from law enforcement background, and I'd like to ask the question, what happened to equality before the law? This is literally legislated racial segregation, where what's legal for one group of people is criminal for another. And how is this ever going to be enforced or policed? How are people going to carry around identification cards with their racial status? It's a very dangerous precedent when the law no longer views us equal as human beings, but actively discriminates against individuals because of their inherent characteristics. I mean, hello. Haven't we been through all of this before? Doesn't history show us what happens? And if we learn anything from history, it's that we never learn anything from history.